Okay, this video is called the Cancer Control Matrix, or you could also call it What You Can Do to Control Cancer. And we'll start out with the serenity prayer of Reinhold Niebuhr. He said, God grant me the serenity to accept the things I can't change. You can't change your past. You can't change what toxins, carcinogens you were exposed to, that sort of thing, your diet in the past. Give me the courage to change the things I can and the wisdom to know the difference. Okay, so here is the cancer control matrix. First of all, there are some things based on luck. The health of your parents, the wealth of your parents, what ethnic group you're born into, and whether or not you have genetic vulnerabilities to cancer. Okay, some people have that. You know, Chef AJ said that she thought that she had increased risk of cancer for some genetic vulnerability. Okay, and people maybe don't have that. Okay, toxins in utero. Your mother could have been exposed to something, you know, that she doesn't even know about that increased your risk. All right. During your childhood and earlier life, you might have been exposed to toxins. You probably ate a lousy diet. And as we get older, our immune system doesn't work as well. That increases our cancer risk. And also, some of us are lucky enough to live in a great country. Others live in a lousy country. Many of us live in a country where the rulers want many of the people gone, dead, okay? I remember when I was watching the movie Braveheart, and there was a scene where the King of England, Longshanks, had his archers firing arrows up into the crowd, and he didn't seem to care if it hit his own men on the front lines. And somebody said, well, you're going to hit your own guys too. And he said, well, we'll at least hit some of them. Does it really matter? And what I mean by that is, it's not a coincidence that you have fluoride in your water. It's not a coincidence that you have aluminum in your water, okay? No one gives a rat's tail about you. It's not a coincidence that you've got subsidized food is stuff sprayed with glyphosate and atrazine that's feminizing and toxic, okay? And soy that, you know, removes your fertility, okay? I just tell you that, so don't think any of these phony experts are going to come save you. They don't give a rat's tail about you. But the good news is most stuff is controllable by you. Now, a lot of it you only have partial control. You can do everything possible to sleep better, but you know, you might not still sleep as well as you want, but you'll at least do as best you can. You know, if you got a big prostate, you're more likely to wake up a little bit and have to go to the bathroom at night. On the other hand, you could try to eat earlier in the day, but then again, you might have to work a long day. That's kind of what I do, and I eat the old man diet for the convenience. So I'm going to have to get up at least once a night to void. That's just something I'm not able to work around at this time in my life. Okay, but I still sleep pretty good. Psychological stress, do what you can to manage that. Toxins in your food. You do everything you can to avoid them, but even when you do everything you can to avoid them, you still can't avoid all of them. It's not as easy as it should be. We talked about that in tons of lectures. I got a whole playlist of videos on food toxins. Air toxins, you know, there's trails of you-know-what chemicals in your air, you know, because there's people who own those planes and they don't want you to have fresh air. You may not believe it, but if you study it, you'll be amazed at how common that is. Take a look up in the sky someday. Study it. You'll be surprised. EMF. We all get EMF more than we want, but there's things you can do to minimize it, like use a speakerphone with your cell phone and minimize it when you're at home. Okay, circa inhibitors. Anything that smells bad tends to be a circa inhibitor. Also, things that increase hemoglobin A1C, diabetes risk, are often related to circa inhibition, or they often indirectly cause it. Avoid those things, you know, ventilate the room if you have to work with cleaning chemicals or something, or glue or liquid paper or something. Increase sunshine. That's good for your health. Don't get sunburned, but get some sunshine. Increase family and friends. Spend more time with your family and friends to the extent that you can. Enjoy a laugh with your coworkers, you know, to the extent that you can. Help other people. Helping other people doesn't just help other people, it helps you. It's a weird thing, but it's true. When you help other people, you feel happy. It's good for you to feel happy. When you feel happy, it lowers your stress, so it helps you. In the long run, too, it gets you to get along better with people. I think that's why we get reward neurotransmitters to our brain when we help other people, because it increases our own personal survival. The more we help other people, the more friends we're likely to have. The more friends we're likely to have, the more help we're likely to have when we have a problem, okay? The more likely if somebody comes to kick our butt, somebody else might stand up for us and defend us, okay? So I think there's something built into us that does help us to survive. Okay, so those are the things you have partial control over to decrease your risk of cancer. All right, now here's the things you have total control over, and these are really the most important things usually. Okay, you can eat the best diet to prevent cancer: low fat, low sodium, low salt, low protein, whole food, 100% vegan, 100% organic, with no oil, because that increases cancer risk. No tobacco, no alcohol, no marijuana. Avoid mitochondrial inhibitors as best you can, which means avoid drugs as best you can, because so many of them are mitochondria inhibitors. Avoid other toxins. Minimize your use of personal care products. Most of them contain toxic chemicals. The only personal care product I use is the simplest possible, transparent, hypoallergenic, fewest chemical soap. And then toothpaste after I drink, beet juice or something, if I'm going to, try to do a workout and go for my high rep maximum weightlifting. Or before a long talk, and do that to energize myself. No animal food. Forget animal food. Increases mTOR from the animal protein. The cysteine, methionines, and whatnot cause metabolic acidosis. Bad for the tumor microenvironment. Contains estrogen anabolics. Bad for breast cancer, prostate cancer, uterine, endometrial cancer. Bioaccumulation of pesticides and herbicides in meat. No fiber in meats. Associated with bad gut bacteria, leaky gut, excess fat with insulin resistance, diabetes. No fried food. It's all toxic. No oil. So those are, and then you want to have a water filter because there's a lot of toxic stuff in your water, as I alluded to. The F minus, the Al, the other toxic chemicals, lots of estrogenics, etc. Get your exercise. That maintains your body. It's like one of the most important things you do. Diet's the most important thing. Psychological stuff is actually as important as diet, but most people learn how to do the psychological stuff. That kind of comes naturally, and there's no opposing force. Whereas for eating a healthy diet, there's a tremendous opposition in the sense of habits, traditions, and all the fake information on the internet that confuses people. So that's why that one takes the most effort and is hardest to learn. Being religious, all the people in the major religions are much healthier than non-religious people. This modernism of moving away from religion into atheism and hedonism, that destroys people, okay? Lots of people have their lives destroyed by hedonism, by like the sexual, chaos of the modern world. They get venereal disease. They also ruin their marriages, all kinds of stupidity that's damaging to them. Have a strong sense of purpose in life. When you have a strong sense of purpose, it makes you more resilient. It makes you healthier. You know you're going to have to go through some painful, annoying BS every day. So why not have something good and strong that motivates you so you can endure it better, okay? Listening to good music, like good Christian music with a melody, it lowers your stress. It makes you happy. It's another reminder of the joys in life, the Christian aesthetics, Christian literature, Christian painting. I love all that stuff. It sort of celebrates things that are good. So be around that stuff as much as you can. Good things, good stuff. It all has positive feedback reinforcement upon yourself, your psyche, your sense of hope and purpose. So anyways, there's a lot you can do. These are the most important things typically to increase your survival if you've got cancer and to prevent it. And you can read about the survivors of it. We've talked about many of them before, the famous ones. So I have a whole playlist of videos on cancer. So anyways, I hope you found this helpful.